Oh, well, let's go ahead and get things started. So hi, everybody. My name is Jenna Nilo. I am the Director of Marketing and Outreach for Illinois Digital Educators Alliance. Thank you so much for joining us today. In a moment, I'm going to introduce Jenny and Tyler with Newsela. They're going to be talking to us today about using Newsela for distance learning. But just before I turn things over to them, just a few housekeeping items. If everybody could please keep themselves on mute today, and keep your video off. As soon as I'm done talking, I'm going to do the same thing. That way Jenny and Tyler will kind of have the spotlight and the stage will be theirs to do their thing. However, we do welcome interaction with you guys. So go ahead and use that chat window for any questions, any comments, responding to things that Jenny and Tyler put out there. So definitely, please use that chat window. They will be monitoring it, and then I will be keeping an eye on it as well and making sure that everything gets answered that you guys are looking for. If you are looking for your Illinois PDH, your Professional Development Hour, we do offer one PDH at the end of the session. So if you hang out till the end, I will put that PDH link in the chat window as well. And then you can do the paperwork associated with it, the Google form, to go ahead and get that and have evidence of attendance today. Beyond that, I will be back at the end to talk about a few things. But other than that, I'm going to turn myself off and turn it over to Jenny and Tyler from Newsela. Thank you so much. They're one of our partners and we appreciate their partnership. So they're going to talk to you about Newsela for distance learning. So thanks, Jenny and Tyler.
Thank you, Jenna. We are really excited to be here today and excited to share some of the updates that we have with Newsela with you all. So over the next about 50 minutes, we are going to be going through some introductions, just allowing Tyler and I to saying hello to all of you. We are going to be getting to know you guys a little bit by interacting on the chat. And then Tyler is going to be walking you through our 3 brand new products, Newsela ELA, Newsela Science, Newsela Social Studies, talking through some of our distance learning support resources during this lovely COVID-19 time. And then we will be taking some Q&A. Just to quickly introduce myself. Sorry, Tyler, do you have something to say?
Oh. And it's all free right now.
It is all free right now. Spoiler alert. I am Jenny Pearl. I am our Illinois Partnerships Manager, which is a very fancy term for just saying that I get to work with all of these schools and districts in our lovely state of Illinois. I live in the north side of the city. I am a U of I alum. I got my elementary education degree there, taught for a very short amount of time, and then found this lovely world of education technology. And I've been with Newsela for about 1.5 years now. I will let Tyler say hello as well.
Hey everybody, so I'm Tyler Overstreet. I don't have as glamorous of a picture as Jenny does. More like action photo. I was a former history teacher, so like big hands always. So I'm a learning engagement manager at Newsela. So my role is day-to-day implementation, running professional development, making sure teachers feel supported. Former Illinois educator, Danville District 118. So if you guys are north of I-80, there's this world below I-80.
We don't know what you're talking about, Tyler.
I know, it's a mysterious, it's not Indiana, it's part of Illinois, I promise. So really my role today is just showing you guys through the new platform, answering any questions that you guys might have. I'm excited to be here. We loved IdeaCon this year, so we're happy to, partner back up and do another session with you guys.
Awesome. Tyler also went to U of I and got his secondary education major there, and we did our student teaching at the same building, which we just figured that out a couple months ago. So we would love to get to know you all. I'm just going to open this chat. Thank you, I appreciate that. So we just want to get to know you all very quickly by engaging in this chat box. So I have a couple of questions for you guys, and if you could do your responses, reply to us in the chat box, that would be absolutely fantastic. The first very difficult question is, have you used Newsela? So please type A if you've never used Newsela before. B, if you've used the free version, you're like somewhat familiar, and C, you are a Newsela pro. You use it all the time.
I saw a C in there. Where's my C at there? Kimberly. Kimberly's a C. Kimberly, I'm actually going to turn this over to you. And give it to me today, so be ready to hop in.
Sometimes I just like don't know if Tyler's kidding or not, so he could be totally honest with that one.
Hey, I mean, you know, it's been an interesting week. You know, this whole quarantine thing. I shaved a beard off that I've had for 4 years, so like you never know.
I did see you the other day. I'm like, who are you?
Living on the edge, folks.
Awesome. Okay, we have some A's, some B's, a good mix of A's, B's, and a couple 1C I think we saw in there. So thank you for responding to this question. 2 more questions for you. The second one is, what do you need to successfully implement distance learning? Type one thing that you need in the chat box for us. This can be anything. It could be coffee. A computer, oh my goodness, yes.
Participating students, yeah.
My students to actually log in. I'll knock on their doors for you.
That's not social distancing, Jenny.
True. Tech skills, participating students, programs that are easy to use. Students with access to technology. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for responding to that. That helps us just figure out how we can guide our conversation today to provide an overview and just show you kind of how easy this will be to use and differentiation. Thank you. And the last most important question, which snack has been the most tempting while you've been stuck at home? For me, it's been Ben & Jerry's. It's been terrible.
I pretty much despise Girl Scouts at this point in my life.
You can't say that.
Those frozen Thin Mints, oh my goodness.
So good. Ice cream. I have a lot of ice cream friends. My husband's been finding the chips a lot, and I'm like, you gotta ration those out. We don't have a lasting supply.
But the real question is what type of ice cream? There's a right answer to that.
We have 2 different ice creams, which is great because I can never yell at him for eating too much and vice versa. So I do Ben & Jerry's half-baked.
That's an acceptable answer. We can continue to work there.
Yeah. What's your choice?
I'm on a big chocolate peanut butter kick lately. I probably shouldn't be, but you know, comfort food.
Yeah. Comfort food is key right now. I'm making a lot of mac and cheese too. All right, so thank you guys for letting us get to know you all a little bit. We are going to dive into what Newsela is all about. I'm going to give just kind of a overview of why we do what we do, and then Tyler is going to jump into some specifics for you all. So really for us, great instruction starts with great content. But the issue is that we often come across is that finding that great content that's engaging, accessible to every student, and aligned to standards just really isn't easy. It's probably one of the biggest things that I came across in my very short amount of time teaching, and probably one of the many reasons that I didn't teach for very long. I burnt out just from not being able to find really quality content at the tip of my fingertips. So we at Newsela believe that you shouldn't have to choose between engaging content and delivering standards. Every teacher should have content at the tip of the fingertip so you can focus on what really matters, which is instruction, really high quality instruction, inspiring a love of learning for your students. The way in which we do that at Newsela is we provide an instructional content platform focused on a few different things. We focus on authentic content, ensuring that every learner has exposure to real-world, diverse text and opinions and people that they can identify with and learn from, that all of our content is accessible. We differentiate our content by providing all content at 5 different rating levels. So all pieces of content within the platform are available at 5 different rating levels. Everything is aligned to standards so that you know that regardless of what you're teaching, you can find content and it's aligned to what you need to be teaching. It's constantly updated. We are adding content every single day. I know Tyler and I are logging in and being like, oh my gosh, this was not here yesterday. We are adding at least 10 articles every single day. It's relevant, it's fresh. And we're ensuring that your students are going to be engaged with the content that they're looking at. And the last part of this is that it's accountable. We want to give you visibility into how and what your students are reading, so providing really easy to understand data, that's not a data overload, that you can understand what's happening in your classrooms. And I know this is especially important for distance learning right now, to make sure that you know what your students are doing, if they're logging on, if they're actually reading the content that you're assigning to them. So Tyler gave you guys a spoiler, but we are offering complimentary access to our entire platform for the remainder of the school year to help support distance learning. The way that you all can get access is by following this link here. Also, if you just Google search Newsela distance learning, this will be the top result. I just checked that to make sure. There will be a link on this page at the very top left that you click on it, and it will provide you instant access to everything that Tyler is about to show you for the remainder of the school year. Not only our products, Newsela ELA, Newsela Science, Newsela Social Studies, and our SEL collections, but we have created an entire collection of distance learning content that you can easily assign to your students. All right, without further ado, I'm going to hand things over to Tyler.
Yeah, so before we really dive into the platform, we're just going to kind of do a little warm-up activity to show you guys the power of Newsela and like why I use it in my classroom, why educators are using it for that differentiation element, that content that we need. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you this article right here. So this is Famous Speeches. It's Kennedy's speech on race, 1963. At the top, you're going to see that this text level is at the 12th grade reading level. It's at the max level. So if Jenny, if you can click to the next slide for me, you can see here kind of the layout, the structure of the article. It's original content right here at the max level. You can see how it's, you know, laid out and structured. What we're going to do though is we're going to do a quick activity where we're doing some comparing and some contrasting here. So if you click to the next one, there is this paragraph, and I'm going to give us about a minute. What I want you to do is I want you to read this paragraph and kind of think about like, what is it saying? What elements are it? Think about your students and what challenges your students might have with reading this text as is right now at the 12th grade level. Take a minute, we'll come back. All right, 10 seconds.
Are you timing this?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Jenny Pearl, you know, former teacher here, man. I got like a digital timer in my head here. Like that was definitely almost a minute. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause. We're gonna go to the next slide here. This is the same article. We've dropped it down now to the 830 level. I want you to read this same article, and then we're gonna talk about it here in a second, well, via chat. About 15 seconds. All right, next slide, Jenny. What I want us to do is I want us to think about those two paragraphs that we just read. Same article, same content. What are we noticing about the reading experiences? How might this relate to your learners? Feel free to throw them out in the chat. Let's just have a discussion about what we're seeing and what Newsela can do with every article that we have on the platform. So throw it out there in chat. What are we noticing? Think about the experience. Pause, Jenny's, because everyone's typing out very long, thoughtful answers right now. That's I'm banking on. Or you read both paragraphs and you thought they were the same paragraph. They were definitely not the same paragraph, so we could start with that. They were not the same paragraphs. Throw something out there. There we go.
Thank you.
Second text was shorter, more accessible for students who are at a lower reading level. Exactly. What else? Differentiation, different levels. Yep. Perfect. Prior knowledge needed. Simplified. Accessible. All words that I love. Do not have idioms. Yep. So it breaks down the language a little bit, simplifies the kind of author's craft a little bit. So with that, that's what Newsela does. That's our bread and butter. At the end of the day, that is our thing that makes us, used in classrooms throughout the country. That's why I used it. That's why a lot of other educators use it, is the ability to take a text and put it at multiple reading levels and really allow different access points to content. So for me, I had 55 kids in the class. That's not a joke. That's the actual number that I had in my class. It was a co-taught English and history class. We had kids ranging from the 2nd grade level to the 12th grade level. The power to be able to use this, a kid sit down, read this article, read George Washington's farewell address, self-reliance, anything like that, and be able to turn, be a 4th grade reading level, turn to someone next to them that's reading at 12th grade level and have an actual content-based discussion about what's going on in the world. It's really a powerful thing to see. And I'm not saying that this is a magical, reading bullet that's going to fix disengagement. It's going to fix all readers. All of a sudden your kids are just going to be sit there and do a slow clap 41 those days when you roll out Newsela to them. But it's, like I said, it's one less barrier, and it's really that inclusive and access piece that we're looking for. We can't achieve equity if people don't have access. So that's really where we're at. It's, we want to provide those access to open up the world for students. So with that, that's our baseline. That's what we do. One of the problems, though, is before we made these new products I'm going to show you, is teachers had to get on, they had to find the content, they had to build the content, create the assignment, create the activities all on their own. And we all know that we don't have time for that always. A 50-minute plan period turns into a 2-minute plan period after grading, emails, kids making up things, parent calls, God forbid you ever go to the bathroom during your plan period or anything like that. While you're eating lunch during your, 9:30 plan period. What we just, we heard from teachers is we need more time. So how can we help with that? And that's where these products came from. We wanted to provide more time for teachers to focus on what's important, delivering instruction, interacting with students, building relationships. So what we did is we built out these products that are going to have custom curation. They're going to have resources, articles, organizers, activities, all those elements pre-packaged and ready to go for you. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys Newsela ELA Social Studies and Science. And I'm going to highlight really our distance learning elements too, to really support what's going on right now in our state. So I'm going to share my screen slowly. There we go. So if you've used Newsela before, so if you chose C earlier on, we had our 1C earlier, this isn't going to change. This landing page is going to look exactly the same. We're still going to put out 10+ articles a day. Every article is going to have 5+ reading levels. You're going to be able to click into it, and do annotations. You're going to be able to do quizzes, writing prompts. You're going to be able to adjust the reading levels. None of that is changing on our site. It's going to be the same format. Everything's going to look the same. As I click into a slowly loading article here, nothing's changing there. It's really that curation piece that's changing to help support you guys. So you see articles still here, scroll over text, highlight, adapt the levels, all that's still here. What we're gonna do is, though, I'm gonna show you the new products, ELA, Social Studies, and Science, where we really think we've upped our game to help support you guys. So this is our ELA page. I'm not going to go into depth into all 3 of them. I'll show you guys what they look like. We really encourage you guys to get on here and explore. Take advantage of that free option right now to really jump into these platforms. But I'm going to walk us through the structure a little bit and then how we can leverage this. So the structure is going to be current events at the top, things that are going on within these content areas. And then the 2 biggest difference are these middle rows and this left-hand navigation. So these middle rows are going to have things that are relevant going on right now in the world. So for ELA, we have things just for students, so get kids active and engaged at home. March Madness fiction, We have, for social studies, the election 2020, and we just added videos in. That's something that new that came out just today, because back to school next year, we're really ramping up, adding in multimedia and videos. So keep a lookout for that. Responding to, COVID-19. In science, we have things like easy experiments for students at home. So really just relevant things that are going on right now. My hope is, by the time August and, I guess May 1st, technically, when we're all going back to school, but more so for back to school, hopefully, this is not going to be just about distance learning. It's going to be about what's going on in the world right now. So this will always be updating and changing. Let me go back to the ELA page. The second thing I want to show you guys is our navigation on the left-hand side. This is where all that curation I talked about was going on. So you're going to see distance learning and daily lessons at the top. You're then going to see how we divide this up into 3 instructionals, really 3 different buckets. One's going to be instructional strategies, one's going to be curriculum alignments, the third one's going to be foundational texts. So to start this off, instructional strategies are going to include things like novel studies, research projects, topics for debate, pairing fiction and nonfiction, already curated, built out around that. Then we're going to have these curriculum alignments. So things like TCI, History Alive for social studies, or Mystery Science for science. For ELA, we have like Lucy Calkins, we have Great Minds, Wit and Wisdom. And what these curricular alignments, so these are curriculums people are already using. What we've done is we've partnered or free use agreements to match scope and sequence of these curriculums. We've added in articles, we've added in resources, differentiation, scaffolding, and we've built those into the platform. So something I will point out too, that roughly 20-25% of our platform is both in English and in Spanish. There are Spanish articles built into these products also. I would say probably the easiest way to find Spanish content is always going to be search and filtering. It's probably the easiest way to find it. I will say something that we're doing right now is really going back through our content and really adding in, really beefing up our Spanish content. So we do offer dual language for a lot of these collections. And then down here at the bottom left, this is our foundational text section. So for ELA, you're going to find fiction articles. You're going to find poetry, articles built out by theme. For social studies, you're going to find things like world history, US history, civics, geography. Science, you're going to find life science, chemistry, math connections, all those content-based areas, those foundational texts really build our classrooms off of. So that's the navigation element. What I want to show you next is how we actually curated for you. So I'm going to choose a novel study, give you an idea of what that next level curation. So we have articles and resources. Let me show you how we actually find those. I go into middle school novel studies. I'm going to choose my student's favorite book of all time. I kind of get it, but I don't quite get it. My kids loved The Outsiders. Like, just absolutely loved it. Like, begged to reread it in high school, which is fine. If they want to read a book, by all means. Love this book, though. So with this, every one of these novel studies is going to have custom curation for articles. You're going to find articles about the historical context, the theme, current event connections, SEL connections built into it. I love this article about using brain science. It's one of my favorite articles I used in my class about doing like anger management, how do we handle that, and getting kids thinking about that while I tie it to actual content. And then the second piece is a resource curation. So every collection is going to have a lesson spark built into it. It's going to have a guide for how you might use these articles. It's going to have activities that include, organizers, different ways to, add this in to what you're already reading. These are all exist in SEL, science, social studies. All these lesson sparks come with this curation element. So that's kind of the layout and the structure of how we can support for content areas right now. All this can be digitally assigned. We're a digital platform. Everything can be completed from assignments to grading can all be done within the Newsela platform. What I want to show you guys just real quick is I'll walk you through, here's social studies. Really the navigation is going to be the same structure, instructional strategies like inquiry modules. We have a lot of virtual museum tours, cornerstone activities. We partner with different curriculums like TCI. We have a lot of collections built around them, Pearson, My World, AP Gov, and then like the foundational text. And then in science, it's around like phenomena, it's around STEAM, science and engineering, partners with like Amplify Science, Mystery Science, you know, Pearson Elevate, and then those foundational texts here at the bottom. So the layout's going to be all the same for all three of those. What I would like to do is just kind of pause for a second, because that was a lot of me talking. As much as I love talking, I want to pause and stop talking for a second. And I want to open it up. What questions might we have just about the content that we offer before I go in and I show you guys how we can specifically even enhance your experience right now with distance learning, what we're doing to support you guys with that. So what questions?
Tyler, it's a question of how do you assign things through Google Classroom, excuse me.
Got you. So super easy process. You choose any article. You click this big blue button up in the top right, you assign it. It pulls you into this assignment page. I'm going a little quick here. You choose your class, you click assign, and then it pulls you into this assignment page. And all you have to do is hit this, which I don't know why this is like the universal sign for share, is this arrow button. Like I don't get it. But you click share, and then you click Google Classroom, and it's going to pull you back into your Google Classroom. So it will provide you with like the link. Kids go into Google Classroom, they look at their assignment, they click, it pulls them into Newsela. It works very, very seamlessly with Newsela. Google Classroom is a really easy platform to use with Newsela. We had another question about Schoology. I don't think, we don't share back into Schoology like that. If you have the ability to like do announcements, that's how I've seen people use it with other LMS platforms that don't have that sharing button. So what you could do is assign it in Newsela and then announce with your classroom, like, hey, you have an assignment in Newsela, log in, goes right there to them. Question about Mark, or not Mark, that says Mary. Gosh, I'm getting old, I need glasses. Does it work with Canvas? Yep, works with Canvas. You log in, you go to your classes, and you can sync with your Clever or Canvas classes. Stacy's asking about Google Classroom. Do you have to invite students if it's already linked? If you go in, I'll show everybody here so we know the process. If I go here to my name, I click on settings, and I go into classes. If you log in through Schoology, Canvas, Clever, Google Classroom, ClassLink, I think that's most of them, Microsoft, it'll say something like sync with Google, sync with Clever, sync with Canvas. You sync your classes, we auto import your rosters, and that way they're already set up. Kids don't have to sign up for your classes, they're already enrolled. They go to Newsela, they're in that class. And then I'm gonna do one more question, and then I will jump back into the distance learning. We'll open it back up for more questions. So when the assignment quizzes are graded, where is it sent? Are we able to see the results and answers? Yes. So all that information lives underneath your binder. You're gonna go to binder, you're gonna go to assignments. Once you're in this page, you're gonna be able to grade everything. So you'll just choose simply which assignment you wanna grade. It's gonna give you all the data. You select the one you want to grade, and you'll be able to go down here and see each student and click into each student and grade it. So very, very simple, quick layout. It's one of the reasons why I used it. Everything's like 1 or 2 clicks away at most, and it plays really nice with lots of different platforms for rostering and things like that. So it makes life pretty easy. All right, I'm going to jump into distance learning tools to show you guys real quick, and then we'll open it back up for more questions. Keep them coming in. Jenny is manning the chat, ready to go. She has, like 120 words per minute or something like that. I don't know.
Very impressive.
Yeah, that's. I always try to hype you up, Jenny. Now, is 120 words? Is that good?
I feel
like that's good. It's like 2 a minute. Maybe that's not good. I don't know. Here we go. All right, let's dive back into the products here. I'm going to jump into the daily lessons. So if you want to find daily lessons in our distance learning, what you'll do is you'll go to one of these products. All 3 of them have this built in, including our SEL collection. And it's going to be the top tab up here on the left-hand side, and slowly loads. So I'm pretty sure my internet's going to break one of these days.
Because your daughter keeps streaming Frozen 2.
Goes in, and then Trolls 2 comes out here in a couple days, and that will just be nonstop singing and musical awesomeness for a couple of days. So here in the products, top left, distance learning and daily lessons. Each product has specific distance learning, and then each one of them has the same link to daily lessons. So distance learning is going to take you to this page. And what these are high engagement, skill-based activities, review activities, really trying to get kids active and engaged in what we're doing right now in the crazy world that we live in. They're already built out, they're sourced, they have parent, caregiver, teacher guides built into them. So one of the things that we really want to be conscious about as we were building these products and building out these collections is, parents are struggling with this right now too, just like we're struggling with it. Trying to teach their kids, we want to be as low lift as possible. We want short, we want informative activities that can really get people involved and active, but also we don't want to make it, an added stress and burden for this, really tough time that everyone's going through. So that was kind of the goal of this. You'll see all sorts of activities already built out. I'm going to show you my favorite one that we've built so far. It's from our Let's Write collection. All different types of ways you can get kids writing. We built out a 30-day write prompt challenge where you can assign this entire write prompt challenge to your students, 30 days. Each day has a prompt. Each day has an article that goes with it. So a great way to get kids thinking, writing, low lift for parents, low lift for teachers, and just get their brain going a little bit, getting them writing, getting them thinking about what's going on in the world. So a lot of activities like this built into these distance learning activities. Definitely explore that when you sign up for your free accounts. And then the second piece are daily lessons. So this is something new for Newsela. So if you've been using Newsela for a while, this is not usually what we do. So we don't usually do like prescriptive day-by-day lesson plans for folks. But about a week and a half ago, we're getting lots of feedback like we need help, we need activities, we need something that's short, quick, to the point, support teachers, this transition. I mean, none of us really went to school to be online teachers. Like this is definitely just such a different model for all of us. If you did go on school to be an online teacher, congrats, you're ahead of the curve. But for most of us, this is something that's just a different world. So what these are is when I'll go in the middle school one, give you an example. They're going to be a little overview of what this is. And then every day is going to have 4 lesson plans, a ELA, a social studies, a science, and then a SEL, like active engagement activity. They're going to range from 10-minute activities, 5 10-minute activities, all the way up to 40-minute activities, already built for you, articles, questions, quick, easy activities for you guys to use. A district I was working with last week, they're going to use this for like an enrichment piece, tell kids every day, hey, choose one of these activities at the end of the day and just do one of them a day. Or, do 2. Or on Mondays and Tuesdays, we're going to do the social studies ones, Wednesday, Thursday, science. So just some flexibility. We want to be as supportive as we possibly can right now. That's why we're keep on building this out. That's why we're having these webinars too, because we want feedback. That question that Jenny asked at the beginning, like, what do you need for resources? Differentiation. Probably not going to deliver on the coffee. I apologize. I think that was Sean or something at the beginning. Probably can't quite do that. But we can deliver on a lot of those, differentiation, Spanish-based content, English-based content, subject-specific content, all these different areas. We really want to support you guys as much as we can. So I'm going to pause there. There's like some questions that we have popping up. Sean, thank you. I appreciate it. We have a question from Michelle. So Michelle, what you're going to do, you already have an account. You're going to sign out of your account. I'm going to slowly sign out of my account and I'll show you. Actually, I'm going to click settings because why not? Now I'm going to sign out of my account. Just ignore the last 10 seconds. Thank goodness this isn't recorded, right? Once you're signed out, you're going to go to newsela.com. And once you're here, you can either use the link that Jenny gave you or the quick way is newsela.com. You click this orange banner drop down and you can click get instant access.
That's much easier than that link, Tyler.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm here for. And then all you'll do once you're on that page is to just enter your username and we'll automatically start you off with the new product. So very easy to sign up for. If you're district leaders, definitely my buddy Jenny here is definitely the person to talk to. Like, we can set this up for entire districts also. So 2 different options there. So let me go back. That was really quick of me. So Newsela.com. If you're in your account and you log out, it's going to take you back to the sign-in screen. Go back up to the address bar, Newsela.com. Orange banner, bright and bold at the top. Click it. Get instant access. And there you go. Sign in right there on that page. Oh, I'm going to say this wrong. It's either Ariana, maybe one of the two. I hate saying people's names wrong. I promise perfect. Like Ron, there you go. There you go. Now we're good. I'll never make that mistake again. I apologize. Does that answer? Do you see that orange banner at the top now? Perfect. Let me get back into my account real quick, because there's just one more thing I'll show you guys too. Is in the top right corner, we have additional resources beyond what I just showed you. It's called our Educator Center. So our Educator Center, we're doing virtual office hours every day of the week, 2 times a day. We've built out parent toolkits for distance learning, teacher toolkits, admin toolkits. We're building out all sorts of activities, all sorts of like little, short lessons. So if you go to that Educator Center, which again, it's in this top right, mine cuts off because I have too many things going on with my page. It's going to take you here to this page, and this page has support articles. How do I sign in and roster with Google? How do I connect Clever? How do I find annotations? All that lives on this Educator Center page, has a chat function, but also has, like I said, virtual office hours, toolkits, letters for parents to send them home about using Newsela. All different resources that we're building these every single day. So there's stuff coming out, ready to support you guys as much as we possibly can right now. All right, so I'll pause. What questions might we have from the group? It is 12:40. Jenny, I don't know if you have anything else to add. I want to make sure we give people a little bit of time to ask questions, but any questions from the group before we pass it back off?
We just click on the SEL collection for a quick second, Tyler, because there's some really awesome distance learning resources in there too.
I guess, since you asked. 1 second. So you're also going to have access to our SEL content, something I skipped over there. My apologies. If you go into our SEL, we're going to have elementary, middle, and high school. And then within this, we're going to have some distance learning collections built into this platform. So you'll see social and emotional learning for social distancing. Each one of these levels is going to have that built in on top of really just great content already. It's all CASEL aligned, ready to go. It has parent and caregiver information. Has great topics like helping my family, keeping in touch with friends, how to deal with anxiety and stress, staying healthy, building out routines. So really just a lot of information. It also has a lot of information for parents too. Like, here's some ways that you might talk about these topics. Here's an article you might read as a family. Here's, an emotion tracker that you can use. So all just kind of different resources to support, like I said, as many people as we possibly can. That's going to be SEL. It might not appear at the top for you guys. It's probably going to be underneath your content. Mine looks a little bit different because of my staff account. But your content should be in your SEL, have access to it once you sign in. And then, Michelle, how can I use library feature for independent reading or book clubs? Yeah, so if you want kids just to read on their own, you don't have to assign articles and get on the platform. It's going to be if you want to see what they're reading, underneath Binder, and you go to Reading Summary, you can click into your students, and there is an independent reading tab there. So if you want to do independent reading, always an option. Click into your students. Down here at the bottom, it has independent reading. So you can see all the articles that I've read on my account. So that's, once again, binder, reading summary, click on the student, and you can get this page and you'll see independent reading. Perfect. All right, any other questions from the group? I'm never opposed to letting out early for any kind of training.
Jenna has a couple wrap-up items as well.
Perfect. Well, if there's no other questions, then guys, I appreciate everyone being here today. You know, it's kind of crazy time right now and uncharted water. So we appreciate you guys taking that time to come hang out with us. And, you know, honestly, if you have any questions, I'm going to drop my email in the chat. Like I said, I'm your guys' Illinois Learning Engagement Manager. I don't know if Jenny, if you want to throw that out there. Also, there was a question. So while you type that, Jenny, I'm going to read the question real quick.
Tyler, after you're done answering this question, if you could stop sharing your screen, because I'm going to share a couple remaining slides.
So there's a question about kids accessing material that is way above their level. What you can do is you can lock in any article at one reading level. So if you want to lock it in for your entire class at the 3rd grade reading level, when you hit assign on the assignment page, you'll be able to lock that in at one level so it doesn't go out all those different levels. So that's one option for you. And that's all I got. I'll be quiet now, I promise.
Thank you all so much. I know Jenna has a couple remaining things, so we will hand things back over to you, Jenna.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. That was awesome. I used Newsela years ago when I was in the classroom, and I introduced it to our school. So I turned a lot of people onto it, and I know it's a fantastic product, and this new stuff looks that much better. So awesome. Thank you. So everybody, thanks for coming today. I just wanted to go over a few things before we close out and give you guys a few minutes back of your time today. We do have some additional webinars. We're pretty much doing them almost every day, definitely Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, each week right now. We are running a webinar, a virtual office hours with our IDEA coaches, and an office hours regarding either Apple, Google, or Microsoft, depending on the day of the week. So lots of opportunities to get PDHs for free and to connect with your PLN and get some inspiration and great ideas. Tomorrow we have a slew of webinars on special education staff. So you'll see the list there. At 10 o'clock, we have online strategies for special education teachers. At 11 o'clock, online therapy strategies for speech. At 12 o'clock for OT. And at 1 o'clock, school psych and mental health. So to register for all of those, you just simply go to our website at ideaillinois.org/calendar, and that will get you to the events calendar, and you can register for any of those. The following week then, if you can click the slide. So next, I believe that is Tuesday, we have another special ed one, e-learning for students with disabilities, accommodating in the general ed curriculum. So that we found that this was a need. People were looking for opportunities to reach that special audience, and so we have responded with all these opportunities. So next Tuesday at noon, you can definitely sign up for that webinar. Again, same place, ideaillinois.org/calendar. And then last slide, I believe. Next Wednesday, Thursday, if you joined us, I believe it was last week with Book Creator, they are going to be doing their Getting Started with Book Creator and their One Book, 1 Hour COVID-19 edition on Wednesday, Thursday next week. So definitely check those out. That should be a real fun, interactive one. Wednesday, we're going to learn about how to use the product, and Thursday, everybody's going to get to dive into the product and give it a shot. So without further ado then, if there's any other questions, Tyler, Jenny, you got bullied by Tyler, I see that. Otherwise, if there's no other questions, I am going to post right now in the chat the link for your PDH. So go ahead and click that. If it's not clickable, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. If it's not, go ahead and copy and paste that bit.ly into a web browser and go ahead and get your PDH credit for today. Tomorrow, I will be sending out the recording of today's presentation, the chat file, so that you guys have any of the information that was provided during that, as well as the presentation. So Jenny shared the presentation with me. I'll include that as well. So that will come out to everybody tomorrow, and then the recording will also be posted on our YouTube channel as well as on our website for access later. So please share it with others, share it with other teachers, with staff, with your principals, your admin, whomever, so that everybody knows the great things that Newsela has to offer. So thanks so much, Jenny and Tyler. We truly appreciate it. I know somebody asked about additional webinars with Newsela, and I'm sure we will have those in the pipeline whenever you guys are ready to do another. So let us know.
Awesome. It was our pleasure. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Stay healthy, stay sane.